with my coffee. Hey guys, we're doing another reading wrap up. Yes, my July reads. I feel like I read a good bit on my Kindle this month, like towards the end of the month. It was just all Kindles. This is all the books from the beginning of the month. And I read a total of 9 books this month. So, pretty good reading month. I feel like my pacing was slower with the books that I was reading because it was taking me longer to finish books, and I was reading a lot of books that were long this month. But it's okay. I feel like I've slowed my pacing down a bit, but I still got a good number of books in. So I guess it's fine. Oh no. Okay, the first book that I read this month was Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. This is about a heist group, a group of 6. It's the second book to Six of Crows duology, and they kind of get sent on these jobs to pull off these heists, I guess, and this is just continuing the story of the first book with their heist, and you're kind of seeing them try to like come back after like a big thing happened in the first book, and it's like just a continuation of that, I guess. And they're doing all these jobs to basically, I don't know how to explain it without spoiling. Basically, something happened in the first book. They are suffering the repercussions of that thing happening, and they're trying to get something, I guess. So they're working this job. Kaz is like the leader of the crows, the Six of Crows, and he's kind of giving them different jobs to do, and they're trying to work towards this one goal, I guess. That's kind of like the main thing. It took me a bit to get into. It was really slow in the beginning, and there were like really fast-paced, interesting parts, but then it would slow down again, and I was like, okay, it's gonna take me, like I'm not really getting into it fully. And then towards the end, it got really, really interesting and really intense, really crazy. And it was just a lot of crazy things happening, and I was very stressed. I love the group so much. Like, they just have a special place in my heart. I feel like the way it ended, like I wasn't very satisfied with the ending. I just felt like I wanted more. And since this is the last book, I was like, that's it? Really? And I just felt like their story didn't feel complete to me. Like, it felt like it needs to continue. Like, I want it to continue. It just felt like I needed, like it should continue. Like, the way it ended, I just didn't, I don't know, it didn't satisfy me. 2 characters in particular. But I'm gonna be reading the King of Scars duology sometime soon, so hopefully that gives me the closure I kind of need, because I didn't get it from this. Overall, I rated it 4.25 stars. It was really, really good. It was really slow. It took me a bit to get into, and I just wasn't satisfied with the ending. And just like, I was honestly kind of upset. That's all I'm gonna say on this. Really good duology though, and I've been thinking about it since I finished it. It's just been on my mind, and I'm sad, and I'm looking at all the edits of the show, and I'm getting more sad because we're not even getting the show for Six of Crows. I'm not gonna rant anymore. 4.25 stars, pretty good. The next book I read is Twisted Love by Anna Huang. This is about Ava and Alex. Alex? Yes, Ava and Alex. Alex is her brother's best friend, and he's super rich, and he's like a genius. And then she, I think, is she out of school? I don't remember if she is still in college or not. But her brother ends up moving away for this job for the summer, I believe. I believe it was for the summer. No, for the year. He was gonna be gone for a whole year. That's what it was. So and he asks Alex to look after her while he's gone. So he moves in next door to her where her brother used to live, and he's renting the place from him. And he's basically protecting her the whole time and making sure she's good on her, doing her thing. But there's kind of like the stories with Alex and Ava that kind of like focuses a lot on their past and like a mystery kind of thing with their past, and it kind of builds up over time and we kind of learn some things about them and about what's going on. Yeah. I fear I didn't like this book. I really did not like it. Ava was fine. Like, I liked Ava. I didn't have anything against her. I didn't like love her, but I didn't dislike her. Like, I was like, okay, whatever. Don't even care. She's just doing her thing, whatever. Alex, though, I did not like this man. I did not like him. Ew. He gave me the ick. He was way too controlling, way too protective. Ew. I don't even know. Like, he was just like very overbearing. He was ew. Like, they weren't even together and he was like controlling everything she did, and why was she liking that and letting that happen? Like, gross. If that was me, oh goodbye. No thank you. Ew. And I just got the ick the whole time reading it, and I feel like I was like not interested, shocked, I guess. Yeah, I think I was like shocked about like the turn of events between them and what happened, but it was like, okay. I think just like their relationship just gave me the ick, and then it dragged on for so long. So I was like, I can't. Overall, don't hate me. This is my first kind of rating like this the whole year. Like, I don't think I've rated. Okay, 1 star. Sorry if you're offended. It just wasn't for me. I did not like it. I'm not judging if you liked it. Like, I see the appeal. It just didn't, like, no, I didn't like it. I haven't rated anything 1 star in like, I want to say 2 years. Maybe it's been like a year. I rarely ever rate things 1 star. This just is like not it, not the vibe. Sorry if you're offended. Moving on. I'm still gonna continue the series because I've heard it gets better, but we'll see how I feel. This one was just not for me. Yeah. And the next book that I read was Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This is about Emma and Justin. They meet like up through a Reddit post. Like, Justin has a Reddit post, and basically every single person that he dates, when they break up, they find their true love. And it's kind of the same thing with Emma as well. So they decide to date each other so that when they break up, they can both find their own true loves. And they had like this whole plan and stuff. So that's kind of the gist of their story and everything. And we learn a lot about them and their stories and their lives and all the things that are happening in their life. I love this book. I loved it. It was so cute. I feel like I really, really got to know them. Like, Justin's story and then Emma's story, like, it just, like, I felt like I knew them so well, and then I love them. I loved Justin. How the fuck are people breaking up with this man and finding their true loves? I would stay with this man. There's no way. Book boyfriend. He perfect. It was so cute. I loved their dates that they went on. I loved the setting. I loved the vibes. I feel like I love a romance that really hits my heart and like really makes me kind of emotional, honestly, and like I really feel like I get to know the characters and like fall in love with them in a sense. Like I I fear the only romances that I rate really highly are the ones that hit me emotionally. So overall, 5 stars. I loved it. I loved it. It was so good, so cute. I can't wait to. I'm gonna reread this every summer. There's no way. Like, it's so good. I ate it up. This will be on my mind forever. Cutesy, perfect, adorable. I love them. I loved it. I loved them. I loved all their friends, and his relationships with his family and his friends, and then her relationship with her friends, and just everything about it. Chef's kiss. It's so good. It's so good. The next book I read this month was Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. This is about Macy and Elliot. They are childhood friends, and they ended up dating at one point in their lives, but they've known each other since they were children. And then they had this whole falling out, this big thing happened, and we don't know what it is. So it kind of jumps from past to present, and it's like building up to that point where they have that big falling out and that big thing goes wrong, and they don't talk to each other for, what was it, like 10 years? I think it was like 10 years or something. They didn't talk to each other. And we're kind of learning what happened, and you're seeing them get to know each other in the past, and then like present day, them seeing each other again, working on their relationship, and honestly trying to find closure within what happened and trying to move past it, I guess. So yeah, that's basically the gist of this. So it's kind of a second chance, friends to lovers vibes. Honestly, I really liked the book throughout the entire thing. I was like, okay, it's cute. They both love to read. I love to read. I was like, we have that in common. That's so cute. We got to see. I really liked how it jumped from past to present. It kind of did the same thing when I read People We Meet on Vacation. Like, it had that kind of same aspect, which I liked in People We Meet on Vacation. I was a little stressed about the miscommunication. I was like, I wonder what it is. I'm getting a little nervous because if you know me, you know I hate a miscommunication trope in a third act breakup like no other, no way. Yeah, it was just kind of like I was enjoying it. And then we got to the point where we learned what happened between them and their whole miscommunication, and it dropped my rating. Are we surprised? No. Ugh, no freaking way. I can't get past it. I feel like the excuses that were used, not excuses, I feel like the reason for the thing happening, I was like, are you serious right now? Why is that excusable? Seriously. Like, I can't get past that. I would not have forgiven the person. I would not have forgiven them if I was in this kind of situation. It just rubbed me the wrong way really bad, and it really dropped my rating. Like, this was going to be pretty highly rated throughout the entirety of it. And then that was the miscommunication? Seriously? Seriously. No freaking way. Heck to the no. Rated it 3.5 stars. It was still like, since I enjoyed it overall up until the ending, I was like, I don't want to rate it too low just because, yeah, I had a good time reading it. I read it really quick. I was entertained. So we got to give it that like rating, but it was going to be way, way higher. Maybe not a 5-star, maybe like 4.5 stars until that point. So I was like, we got to drop it down a whole star. There's no way. I will probably not ever reread this just because I was so frustrated and annoyed. Didn't like that. The next book I read in July was The Housemaid Secret, the second book in the Housemaid trilogy. This is about Millie again it's like continuing her story, I guess, and kind of she's being a housemaid for another couple, I guess. She's a housemaid for another couple, and there's something weird going on with the wife, so she's like kind of investigating it in a sense, and like what's going on, because if you know her, she can't leave anything alone. She can't just let it be. She has to get involved, and she has to help. She just can't just leave things be. So it's kind of that, and then there's this like huge plot twist that goes on, and oh my gosh, when I was reading it, I was like, I feel like the same things are gonna be happening. Like, I'm not gonna be that shocked, that surprised, whatever. I had my theories about things. I was suspicious about two characters in particular. I was wrong about one of them, obviously, but one of them I was like right on the money. I wasn't like right on the money because I didn't know what they were gonna do. I was shocked about the thing that they did, which I was surprised about because I didn't think I would be shocked, but I knew to be suspicious of that person because it just seemed too like repetitive with the first book, and I was like, there has to be something different that goes on. Like, we can't just have the same kind of story going on again. And I was shocked, appalled. It was crazy. I think it was really entertaining, really good. I didn't like it as much as the first book. I feel like because it followed kind of the same kind of storyline. I've said kind of like 3 times. Because it followed the same storyline a bit, I wasn't as not invested. I was very invested. I finished this in a whole day. Like, quick read, finished it. So yeah, overall I would just say it was like average 4-star. Really good. I love to get a good solid 4-star because I'm entertained. It was good. It kept me on my toes. Like, very interesting, very entertaining. Really liked it. I definitely recommend. I can't wait to read the 3rd book, The Housemaid is Watching. I'm thinking next month, maybe the month after. I want to finish the series off, and I'm very interested because I was like hesitant about this book because I was like, I feel like this story with Millie did not need to be continued. I feel like one book would have been fine, but I was pleasantly surprised. So yeah, definitely enjoyed. Now we're getting into the Kindle reads. The next book that I read in July was Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. This is about Johnny and Shannon. Shannon has like kind of grown up and she's been bullied her whole life, and so she gets transferred, or her mom sends her to Tommen, this private school, and she meets Johnny there, and we're kind of seeing their story grow, and the things honestly they're going through, like we see Shannon's story and like the things she's going through, which are terrible, devastating. And Johnny's kind of there to help her, and we see his issues because he plays rugby, and we're seeing his whole thing with his rugby and him kind of opening up honestly to her and her opening up to him. And yeah, it's just like their little love story. I didn't dislike the book. I enjoyed it. I was stressed, I will say, and it was really sad, really heartbreaking. But Johnny, just like, I love Johnny. I like Johnny. He's great. He's nice. He's perfect. He's really good for Shannon, and he's always there for her, and he's like super lovely. It's just like when he first was getting to know her, he was just constantly so focused on her age and how young she is and how young she looked, which rubbed me the wrong way a bit, I will say. Just because every single time he would talk about her, I'd be like, oh, she's so young. He's 17 and she was 15 when they first met, and she turned 16. So it's not even a terrible age difference. Like, it's fine. But he was just so focused on it, and every single time he brought her up, he was like, oh my god, she's so young. I can't. She looks so young. Blah, 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 blah. But then he would go on about how attractive she is and how interested in her he was. And I was like, I don't know. It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and it gave me weird vibes. But it got better as it continued. But yeah. Definitely look up trigger warnings if you're wanting to read this, there's a lot of triggering topics discussed, I guess. Overall, though, I rated it 3.5 stars. Pretty average, not like. I just feel like Johnny just really gave me the ick in a way, and I was like, why are you being weird? Why are you being weird? Let's talk about that. So, yeah, 3.5 stars. I was entertained though, and it was shocking, and it was just a lot to process. The next book that I read in July was Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. If you know, I read Magnolia Parks last month, and I was like, let me continue with the series this month. I was really excited for Daisy Hates just because we get bits and pieces of her in Magnolia Parks, and it's basically the story is about Christian and Daisy. Her brother runs a gang, so very entertaining, and we're seeing kind of her life and what she was going through during the same time with the whole stuff with Magnolia and BJ in the first book. So it's kind of like the same timeline, just like her point of view of the events and different things in her life with Christian as well. And yeah, lots of drama, obviously. It was very interesting. Honestly, I really enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it, one, because I really like Daisy. I really like Daisy and Christian. I definitely like them way more than BJ and Magnolia. Yeah, it was pretty good. I really like the whole aspect with Julian and like him running the gang. That's her older brother. I thought that was really interesting, and we got kind of his point of view and his thoughts and feelings, and I was like, this is really entertaining, really interesting. So, pretty crazy. I had a fun time reading this. I was just very entertained, and I really enjoyed that aspect, and I liked how it was only focused on Christian and Daisy and like their romance and all that. And I really liked her whole group that she hung around. They were great, because I didn't really like all of Magnolia's group of people that she was around. So I was very happy that I liked all the characters in this. I don't think there was a character that I disliked. Everyone was pretty great. So that's good. Overall, rated at 4.5 stars. Not a 5-star, but really enjoyed, really liked. I'm excited to continue her and Christian's story and see kind of what happens. I think the next book I'm going to read next, it's August now. This month is going to be Magnolia Parks, A Long Way Home. That's what I'm thinking. That's the vibes I want to do. So, yeah, 4.5 stars. Really enjoyed, really entertained. I definitely recommend this series so far. Like, I'm really enjoying it. Okay, the next book that I read in July was Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. This is about Violet. There are different roles kind of in the Fourth Wing universe, and I don't remember what their home is called, I will say, but she wants to be a scribe, but her mom, who is like the general, I believe, of the Dragon Riders, is kind of forcing her to be a Dragon Rider. So she has to go through that whole process in the whole school to become a Dragon Rider. And she meets some people, she goes through all these trials, these classes, and she basically has to survive to become a Dragon Rider, because lots of people die throughout the process to see if they're like kind of worthy and strong enough to be a Dragon Rider, I guess. So we kind of see her growth and her learning new things, and yeah, you just see, it's very interesting, very entertaining. Yeah, I don't know how else to explain it. I really enjoyed it, actually. Like, I was very entertained with the whole plot, and I loved her friends. I loved her group. Xaden, I'm not going to put him on my book boyfriend list quite yet. I'm going to wait till I finish the series so far until I get to Onyx Storm, and then we'll see kind of how I feel about it. about him and see if he's a book boyfriend. But as of right now, maybe. I was very entertained. Crazy things were happening, and I feel like it was very interesting. I really liked Violet. Like, she was so real. Everything she would say, I was like, oh my gosh, I fully agree with you. That's hilarious. I'm chuckling. And I just think the ending was crazy. The gasp I gasped. I got whiplash. I was so shocked. There were things that happened that I didn't necessarily enjoy, and wasn't very happy about, but that's okay. It was fine. I had a blast reading this. Like, I was on it. And every single time I'd stop reading, I was like thinking about it. I was like, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen next. I wonder what crazy things are gonna go down. And I had to keep reading. It was so good. I was so entertained. Really, really enjoyed. I feel like I haven't been reading a lot of fantasy recently, so I was like, I needed this. I actually needed this. So it hit that mark for me. Overall, I rated it 5 stars. Another 5-star. Yay. I really had fun. I loved it. People have been telling me for the longest time, they're like, you need to read Fourth Wing. It's so good. You're gonna love it. And it's so entertaining, so good. The characters are great, whatever. And I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it. I don't know. I feel like I don't wanna like put too much hype on it and like get disappointed, because I do that kind of a lot. So I was like, I don't have the highest hopes for it. I was pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed it. Was really entertained. It was great. 5 stars. Definitely read this. It's so good. The last book that I read in July is Keeping 13. I actually just finished this last night, so it's kind of like fresh on my mind, which is good. It's kind of continuing Shannon and Johnny's story and like what's going on with them. So yeah, I will say I didn't enjoy this one as much as the first one, and even with the first one, it wasn't like as great as I thought it was gonna be. I'm excited for Joey's, Gibbsy's, and Huey's story. Yeah, I'm very excited. I think I'm most excited right now for Joey's story, just because I don't know how it's gonna pan out and like continue, because he has 2 books. So I'm very curious and excited to read those. I feel like it was really slow of a build-up throughout the entirety of the book, so it took me honestly a really long time to get into it and read it and like be invested in it. So I did not have the urge to pick it up. I honestly was like kind of over Shannon and Johnny's story and like whatever was happening with them. I was like, okay, let's move on, please. I was kind of reading it just to get their story over with, because I was ready to move on to what am I saying? I was ready to move on to the other characters and see kind of Joey's whole thing and Gibbsy's and Huey's and all that jazz. Towards like a little over halfway, a lot over halfway, not towards the end really, it was like something really crazy and intense happened, and I was flabbergasted. I will say, like, oh my god, it really hit me in the heart. It was crazy. I don't know how else to explain it. It was crazy. But then after that whole thing happened, why did we have like 2 hours left? Like, I was reading it and I was like, I feel like the story feels like it like is about to come to a close. Like, I feel the ending near, but it felt really dragged on for no reason. Like, I feel like we didn't need that much longer to continue it. Like, I feel like it could have been quicker, closed off the story, ended it, but I feel like, I don't know, it just dragged on a lot. So I was like bored again, and I was just trying to binge read it so that I could finish it, because I read for like 6 hours yesterday trying to finish this damn book. So definitely wasn't my favorite. I definitely preferred the first book, but it still wasn't too far off from the first book. I rated it overall 3.25 stars. I'm hoping the rest of the series I like more with the other characters. I like Johnny and Shannon. Like, they were great. I loved them together. I just didn't really not care. I cared. It was just I felt like their whole story and everything was just dragged on a lot, and I was just kind of over it, and I was ready to move on. I think that was just like one of the big things. It was just very slow, but a lot of it wasn't necessary. I don't know. That's just my thoughts, my feelings, the vibes. Okay, these are all the books, all 9 books. They're mostly my Kindle that I read this month. I feel like I had a good reading month, a really average reading month, nothing really crazy. I got some good reads, which I was happy about, but I feel like a lot of them, I don't know, I feel like I got a good mixture of good and maybe not so good reads. Not my favorite reads. A lot of books in the 3-star realm. That's okay. I still got really good books. I still was entertained. I'm excited to continue some series and see what happens with those. I love continuing series. I love getting into them. So I'm excited for what I have in store for me in the future. I think I had a pretty cutesy, good little reading month. I was glad that I was starting to get back into the fantasy realm and kind of a little bit getting out of the romance. I still read quite a bit of romance, but I feel like I read a lot more romance last month. So I'm glad that I kind of focus a little bit on different genres because I was very much in a romance mood. I feel like I'm starting to get out of my romance mood and I'm excited to dive into new stuff. Fantasy, I'm excited to read more fantasy, especially in the fall time. That's going to hit real hard. Maybe some thriller mystery vibes because I want to definitely get more into that kind of genre. So yeah, I'm excited to see our future reads. I hope you enjoyed this. Whoa, a bug just flew by. I hope you enjoyed this month's reading wrap up. And I'll see you guys whenever the next video comes out. And I'm excited for what we have in store for us next month and what we'll read next month. Hope you're looking forward to it too. And yeah, I'll see you guys later, whenever that is.